Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back. This is episode 84 of Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. We're going to continue our film reviews despite the schedule coming out for the Bengals. While some get really excited for that, I kind of just let it roll out. And we already know the opponents. We already know where they're playing, home and away. We just don't know the order. We don't know the bye weeks. We don't know the primetime games. If you're buying tickets, it's nice to get ahead of it right away. Or you can let the hype die down a little bit and get it in the summer before the season gets close and people start buying the tickets up. But I don't know what games I'll be going to yet. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll be in the First Star Suite again this year. And if we keep this thing rolling and going there and have a good time there, which they always throw a big party, that would be pretty cool. And there was a lot of primetime games, which is what I like the most. But the 425 games with me are pretty cool too. But enough of that. I wasn't even going to talk about the schedule at all because I talked about it on Twitter so much. At Joe Goodberry, if you don't follow me, if you're not on Twitter or X or whatever the kids are calling it these days, we're going to continue our film reviews with a player that when I watched, I wasn't too high on, wasn't too excited about. There are people that say the 2022 season for Josh Newton was much, much better. And if you look at PFF grades, they agree as well. I think he had a 77 grade this past season. But if you go back to 2022, he had an 82 grade. So that's a little bit of an improvement. We are first going to watch a game from 2023. It was the first game I watched of him as well. This one's going to be against Colorado, Deion Sanders. Did I say Sanders? Sanders team. Yeah, that Colorado. And get an idea for, the type of receivers. They got a really good receiver there. I think he also plays corner too. He's not in the draft yet. Josh Newton, 5th round pick 150 of the Bengals. Let's start with the Colorado tape and go from there, and we can discuss what we see. Okay, starting this game off, Josh Newton with the arrow. He's going to be targeted 7 times in this game, plus a penalty play. Might actually be 8, giving up 4 catches for about 45 yards. So right off the bat here, I think we've got a free safety situation, and Newton falls right off the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you're watching there, up at the top where the arrow is. I'm just mentioning it. I'm not critiquing the guy on that. Sometimes you trip, sometimes you stumble. If he stumbles 5 times in a game, that's where we're going to have an issue. And I'm going to skip if it's not, to his play side. If this is your first time watching, you just want to know how I see Josh Newton. Well, again, we got to play to the other side. So I'm going to keep it skipping, keep it moving. This is not a highlights package. This is watching him. And this is the first game I watched of him when I was watching corners, probably in February. It might have been March after they didn't sign a corner in free agency. So it might have been mid-March. And Newton was one of those guys that I put on early to see because there were some rankings that had him pretty high. There were some that I think originally thought 2nd, 3rd round pick for him, probably because of the better year he had in 2022. Okay, so get to see him on the boundary out there. Top of the screen, if you're not sure where I'm talking. Okay. And we're just going to get an out. It's going to be a comeback route to the outside release, comeback route. So when we're watching at cornerbacks, I know we don't watch a lot of corners, right? We've watched some Mike Hilton. We've watched some Cam Taylor-Britt, some DJ Turner last year. You're looking for quickness, balance, playing under control. For me, I like to watch the games where he gets targeted a bunch because I want to see the ball skills. I think the real equalizer for corners from college to the NFL are the guys that don't panic when the ball is in the air, that are comfortable with their backs to the ball, are comfortable playing and making plays on the ball and showing that ability and awareness of the game. But I get distracted there because I also want to see guys that are willing to tackle, right? So Josh Newton's up here. We see a screen because we've got a broken play on defense with a late guy getting on the field. And Newton's like, okay, can the safety make a play here? Let me get inside of this receiver. You see how, as he's pushing this way, he's backing the receiver up towards the sideline. So he's able to basically tackle anything that comes up into this position right there, if that makes sense. And he can stay inside just in case that guy makes the safety miss, which he does. So he disengages, comes in, and helps finish the tackle. And sure, the receiver did a good job. It's a broken play. He just didn't want that to turn into a 20-yard play rather than a 10-9, whatever that was. There are worse tackling and run defense efforts. Not from Newton, who I think is decent at it, but out of corners when you watch them on film. But why I like that, and you may say corners are there just to cover, and they are in a lot of ways. Although he comes in the screen here, I want to see this because he's pressing here. This is Josh Newton here. He's going to press the receiver to the inside. Get some help by the linebacker. Not really help because the linebacker would like to be underneath and avoid that so he can stay with his guy. So they get bumped into each other. But why I like aggressiveness and tackling, even though their main responsibility is coverage and athleticism and being a pain in the butt and being able to make plays on the ball, it's because I think it shows competitiveness. Like even here, great play to show what I'm talking about. Competitiveness, I think, translates to guys staying on the field and getting on the field and playing a long time in the league. So as you watch Josh Newton there with the yellow arrow on him, this is a play that's going to go a handoff to the inside. But watch how aggressive he is towards this bubble screen on that side, or which would have been a wide receiver screen. He goes up and he takes the outside route, and he fights in there. Why does he take the inside route? Because the safety over here would have inside if that ball was thrown. But just doing that and not giving up, right? Not having a situation where you and the receiver are like, yeah, we're just going to take it easy on this play. Don't worry about it. I'd like to see a little better tackling effort there. I do like his awareness in zone here as the receiver goes outside. Right here, his eyes immediately dart inside. You see him as he's bumping this guy to the sideline and letting him go up that way. As he's doing that, his eyes check inside because he knows that once he gets widened out this way, the ball's probably going to be thrown to that slot receiver, which it is at that right time. Come down, make a play if you can. Now watch Newton. I'd like to see him finish. You get an opportunity to finish here, even though you've got, that's all TCU defenders around this receiver. You don't always have to have that guy jump into the pile. We don't need corners getting us unnecessarily injured. But if you're looking for somebody like a Mike Hilton, well, then you're going to want to see a guy that's super aggressive. But to me, this is the game to watch. Why I chose this one, while it's one of his worst games, there is a 2022 game we might come back to watch. If this episode goes too long, we'll wait for it another time versus Georgia. But he only gets one target in that game, and he gives up one catch, I think, for 20 yards. So I would show that as like, hey, this is good, but sample size. With corners, I usually feel like I need to watch 3, 4, 5 games because I want to see 35 targets to their way. I want to see 50 targets. If I could find a cut up on YouTube of every target, every ball thrown in Josh Newton's direction, that'd be the most valuable piece of film I could watch. Watch him coming off the edge here. He's going to dip underneath this tight end going into the flats. You'd like to see him stay on his feet there just in case that is a run and he can make the tackle of the running back. You see Mike Hilton do that stuff all the time. I'm going to see him come in from the right side here. Watch him dip underneath. Good job. Stay on your feet. That's my only critique there. And it is a good thing. You may be saying to yourself, it is a good thing that a guy doesn't get targeted often. It means he's shutting his side of the field down. Yeah, there is some of that, but in college especially, you'll just throw away from a shutdown corner. So if he's not getting targeted, you may say, oh, he's doing great. But a lot of time that's just game plan dependent. How is he? And like these are good plays. We got one-on-one up here, and you're going to get this receiver is going to eat up the ground, shimmy, and then do the slant. So can we see any discernible separation? Does he get faked outside? No. I mean, he's on his hip pocket. That's what you want to see. Even undercuts it a little bit. You're not going to get him on the screen on that, so we'll keep it moving. You got a press situation. He doesn't really get a hand on him. So I don't know because we got hands down here. I would assume that he is supposed to get a hand on him and bump and run with him down the field. Obviously, you can only make contact for 5 yards in the NFL. But at this point here, excuse me, NFL teams are going to throw this. And I understand you got the guy underneath. Like, already go ahead and check it. But you got 2 defenders that way. There's no deep enough safety. The safety would struggle to get over the top. Like, if this is Jamar Chase and Josh Newton, I think Joe Burrow's launching that downfield. And that's not to say that's bad coverage. It's just one-on-one in the NFL means you're going to get attacked, which is why, to me, it's less how does he look in coverage and transitioning and fluidity and acceleration. All that is good things. Those are bonus things. It's I want to see all of the targets towards him. The Texas game, while it's rated as his worst game, and that was the game I stopped watching him originally and was like, whoa, I'm out of here. At least you've got like 13 targets in that game to watch and to see him react and to see how he's doing and see why players are getting open against him to give you a feel for him. All right, looked like Newton was getting into the slot there. I would say he was. That was him. They shifted a safety out wide. It looked like a safety. All right, we got off coverage here. Looks like he's going into a zone, a cover 3 zone. And we're going to throw underneath and a missed tackle by Newton. So the coverage-wise, why you give up a catch here, not his problem. We got a cover 3 situation. As you can see, he's off here. He's playing basically there. We got the same thing over here, and we got a free safety in the middle of the field. So we're covering our 3 sections of the field with these guys. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get beat deep, basically. And this guy just runs a in route, very shallow in route. What is he, 2 or 3 yards down? And Newton's got to come down, and his first mistake is coming inside because you got help, right? If anything, you want to come and take this angle to force that receiver to say, okay, I can't go outside. I'm going to come back in, and the linebackers and safety will come in and make a play. So he goes in. He's leaving his feet. He's trying to drag him down from the legs and knee area, and he can't get the receiver down. The receiver gets another 4 or 5 yards out of that. Let's see it from this angle. You'll get a good example or a good shot of it. Okay, so he is outside to start. When you watch it, he is coming from this side. This receiver must do a good job of stringing him inside first and then accelerating outside, which he does. So that could be more of an athletic limitation thing rather than a scheme, knowing your job and doing your job, because it's hard to match a receiver sometimes in space. All right, we've got a hezzy step and a going deep ball. We've got one. Like I said earlier, you're going to throw that. That's going to be a situation where you're going to throw it. We got a press situation. Does he get hands on him this time? He does not again. And not every press situation requires them to put hands on him. Sometimes you just come up to disguise what you're doing or make the receiver slow down a little bit, and then you back out of there. Why slow yourself down as a corner sometimes? But here he puts hands on him there. He's going to try and bump him and run with him. And at that point, he must have, I'm assuming that receiver knocked the hand down and he's running vertical. Like this is, like I said, you get that 1/2 step ahead of him, launch that ball down the field, and boy, does he, and it lands right there. This should be a touchdown. If anything, Newton is tackling the receiver while he's going for the ball. You could throw a flag on that if you wanted to. In the NFL, they may. And he's celebrating. I mean, put the seatbelt on him, right? It's a joke. I laugh at corners all the time for this. I'm sure you guys do. But if you ever played corner, it is extremely tough. So we'll take an incomplete pass any way we can get it. And that's, in my mind, you give up a touchdown, right? Like, so evaluation purposes, it says you didn't give up a touchdown there. Or stats says you didn't give up a touchdown. Evaluation purposes, you gave up a touchdown. Unless, we're missing, unless I miss a, no. Okay, I was going to say, unless he poked it out afterwards, which then you get credit, in my opinion, for playing the ball, playing through the ball, playing through the catch point, and recovery too. All right, we got another one. Now we're going to the flats. Go make a tackle. This time we make a tackle. This time we do a good job staying on the outside, force the running back to cut back inside. I think he spins inside here, and your defensive help from the inside gets there to help make a play. Good tackle, though. He didn't need the other guy to come in. Unless the running back saw the other guy and said, you know what, I'm not going to keep fighting. I'll just go down here. I've done what I need to do. We got another tackle by Newton. So far, I mean, we're in the first quarter. He is extremely active in the run game so far. I think he ends up with 5 or 6 tackles in this one. That's him to the right. Number 2. You see, he fills in and gets in there. That's a good thing. You'll play a long time. He's going to have to play special teams. He's likely the primary backup boundary guy. We'll have to see what happens with Dax Hill, I guess. Boy, he should stick on the roster this year. He and DJ Ivy are probably the bottom guys, the depth guys. So we'll have to see. Okay, I thought for a second maybe he carried his guy. So far in the same spot every time, I believe. From what I remember watching, this was where he primarily played, besides going in the slot a couple times. Good job, even though this thing breaks down. Shedeur Sanders is looking for an outlet here as he breaks down and breaks to the right. And you can see Newton saw it. If I were able to go back just one frame, he had eyes back. Now the receiver's going to go, and he's going to transition with him and run with the receiver. Right there. So you're not really giving him that angle. Maybe the quarterback could have feathered it over, laid it over. But all right, second quarter. Okay, so he's staying on the boundary side away from TCU. It's always something I notice. Like you're right, you got the TCU benches and the coaches. Sometimes they want the corner they need to talk to the most on that side, where they'll put the cornerback they don't have to talk to on the other side. Like they know Josh Newton will do his job on his end. Could also just be a function of the other team's offense. Maybe they line up the same receiver all the time on that side, and he's shadowing him on that side. I don't think that's the case with Colorado, but sometimes that's the case. Okay. A lot of filler plays here. Nothing for Newton. Top of the screen again. He's been furthest from the camera every time. Okay. Receiver there getting a little physical at the top. He's trying to run him off. Watch how the receiver is going to change his pace and his speed here. Like, all right, we're actually running the route. No, we're not. Let me come in and block you. Very physical play there. What's the receiver's name? Travis Hunter? Is that right? I just saw the cover of NCAA 25, and he was on there, which was a game I played a ton. You kids don't know. If there's any kids on here, you don't know. When was the last one? Like 2015, 2014, 10 years ago? Feels that way. All right, we got a slant. We got Josh Newton up here at the top of the screen. There's the arrow. He's in a press man situation, it looks like. And this receiver is going to open him up this way before cutting inside. So let's watch that if we can. Let's clear this. He really didn't even fake him too well, because even on his inside cut, the receivers watch out for this linebacker that's coming underneath to take the flat defender. But he gained separation in a quick, short area, in a tight area. And Newton makes a nice tackle right up the catch. Doesn't allow it to become a big play, right? That's part of being a corner. If I can limit you to 8 yards per catch, you're doing your job. I don't care if you give up 4 catches in a game for 40 yards, honestly. That's not a problem for me. How many third downs do you give up? Then that can be an issue. If they're all 4 on third down, then I may be more critical of it. But if you give a bunch of 6, 7, 8 yard catches, we're doing fine. It's the 20, 25 yard catches that we just cannot have. All right, slant again. He's on it this time. He's staying with him. And we've got a nice levels here as this boundary corner does a good job, or his boundary receiver does a good job, because like the play pretty much could be over here, right? But he's going to drift inwards and almost suck in the TCU defenders while we've got this guy coming behind him, which is going to open up a nice clear passing lane or Sanders. Did you see, watch this defender, this TCU defender is going to get sucked up to this receiver, which means the receiver behind is going to run free into that open area. See how Newton hustles. Does he hustle? Does he run with it? Not really, actually. Number 2 there, he's kind of jogging it out. Again, I'm not making evaluations off of one play. I'm making evaluations, noting them, and see how frequent they are. If they're very frequent, that becomes part of their profile. That becomes part of their strengths and weaknesses. So I'm just noticing that he's kind of jogging through that play. Doesn't mean that's how he always does. It doesn't mean he's not a high motor guy. Even Trey Hendrickson with a hot motor walks out a couple plays. That happens. You get tired. And we got his own coverage here. He's got the wheel route. He's got to stay with it. And we got a sack here. I really like how he picks this up and sees it. Okay. As he realizes what's going on, he's kind of drifting in here. He's going to see we've got a wheel route coming, and he's going to ride it the whole way to the sidelines and then back inside, knowing he really doesn't have help right here at this point. I mean, even you got a receiver right here. This ball, if you could have set your feet and just laid it up here, you probably got a touchdown. I mean, he's open. And then you got another guy here right at the goal line that's open. But Josh Newton himself does a great job and really takes care of that wheel route and keeps it from becoming a big play. I wonder if he even pushed his guy out of bounds here. It looks like no. Oh, no. The receiver stayed in to the very end. 3rd down and 6. We're in a press situation, and we're running a fade ball. And we have a flag and touchdown. Let's go back to the beginning now. Let's see how he works him inside or stems him back first. Hesitation. Hits that outside plant foot. Now he's going to take this towards the sideline. Look back. Is he expecting the back shoulder? Because Newton does a good job staying on top of him. And when he does, Newton's eyes go into the backfield. And I think they lay it this way. So you can do that sometimes. When the receiver goes this way and it looks like a back shoulder, a lot of times the quarterback and the receiver will put his head down because the quarterback will lay it this way. And it'll get the corner to bite on the back shoulder, which it looks like here. Now his back's to the ball. He's panicking a little bit. Doesn't know where the ball is. Doesn't know when it's coming. Almost makes a really good play on this. And that's a tremendous catch by number 12 there. Hopefully get a better angle here of that contested situation. Yes. Yeah, he did look back real fast. Tried to see if he could swipe that ball out of there. I'm going to try and see if we can get a... Okay, as Newton looked back, now he's looking towards the ball. Now he looks back one more time. That's it right there. That's the angle I wanted to show. Newton one more time thought I had time to look back inside, see if I can peek at that ball. The receiver just does a really good job 5-pointing it. I think he got that foot down. I can't tell, but touchdown. So like I said, big fan of, maybe it's not a touchdown. Are they going for 2 here, or was that just a penalty and he didn't get his foot down? Either way, it's touchdown. Now, from an evaluation perspective, that play with the flag was a touchdown. You could say you give up 2 touchdowns in this game as an evaluation in your notes. And I started the show with ball skills because I think both this game and the Texas game show that as an issue for me. We've got a good situation here where it looks like we're in a cover 2, and we're going to attack the whole shot. You got an open area between a cover 2 where you can hit that box there and watch Newton drift back into it. He knows it. If you wanted to throw it, he'd be able to make a play on that. And that one touchdown isn't a complete knock on his ball skills. There are others, like I said, the Texas game where he gets targeted 13 times. I think he gives up 135 total yards in that one. I really would like to spare you that. If you want to be positive, we may watch another. We're gonna be in the off season. We may come back and circle to more games. We might watch Matt Lee versus Rucororo Clemson because that's a real fun one. Maybe do some live shows where we just watch it live and have a good time with that. So maybe we'll watch Newton versus Texas. Slant, he's in on it. I like the physicality. Watch Newton on here. As the slant comes in, he's going to drive on it, push the receiver in his back. You're still within the 5 yards. Bump him all you want. And we get a sack. So good job by Newton there. I like his physicality so far in this game. Looks like we got a defensive stop there. Yeah, there's a win for Newton. No doubt about it. All right, top of your screen. As the receiver is going to stem outside first. See him come out first, then go this way. He's trying to widen out the corner. That's supposed to be an arrow. Before he cuts back inside and runs his in route, squares off his in route there. But Newton is at home. He does not get moved. He hangs out. He's very technically sound on this play. He is right in his hip pocket. Now watch when they turn outside. That is beautiful. That's staying with the play. Things are breaking down. So you see the quarterback rolling that way. You know the receiver is going to roll that way. Should roll that way. And he stays right with them. And he even transitions, I think, and comes out of his break faster than the receiver does. And the ball has to be thrown in that direction. Quarterback leads them because I don't think he believes his guy's even open there, which he isn't. We're going to watch the right side here. This is Newton down here. Someone asked in the comments to make my arrow a little bit bigger because sometimes I don't always draw, so I want to make sure we're on the same page there. What I'm looking for right here is the transition. As the quarterback's breaking down back to our right, watch how Newton and the receiver break down. Oh, wrong guy. I'm sorry. Because I was like, that didn't look right. That wasn't as clean as what we saw. This is Josh Newton. This is how I want to see him break down and transition and go in and out. So watch the second guy that comes out. It's going to be here. Okay. Watch as the quarterback breaks out of the pocket. Watch how quickly and efficiently Newton breaks down and runs with the receiver. I mean, that's clean. If I can just play that on a loop, that is clean. Gives you nowhere to throw that ball. That's great coverage by Josh Newton. All right, you may have to be physical here. You may have to get in there. We've got a fumble. Newton does his job. His job here is to stay to the outside, force that quarterback to cut up. Or it's a running back. Okay. I want to go back just a click here. As the running back takes it outside, we've got 4 and 28 here, chasing the running back, right? So these guys on the outside, especially the boundary corners, they're really just trying to hold their guy up and make a wall here if you can. If you can draw a wall here, you're going to force that running back to cut this way, which is where your help is coming in. And Josh Newton does his job. If it ever looks like a guy's just standing around with that receiver, sometimes he's just playing his position, and there's the ball. Because you allowed and helped out your defense to make a play. Now, what is that worth, right? Is it worth as much as the guy that tracked down the running back and knocked the ball out? Of course not. That's a great play. That is just doing your job so your teammates can make the great plays. Nothing going on there. We'll keep it moving. Newton in a press situation at the top of the screen. Watch him walk up. This time he's going to get hands on. Bang. Now run with him. Right? Some guys will get stuck in the mud on that, and then they'll get their hands knocked down, and then they're done for. So hit them, and then run with them. Stay with them. And even here, sometimes you got to go around a defender and get back on them, and then the play goes elsewhere. So it is what it is. Good play by Newton, though. Good jam. So far, I've really liked his mental and physicality. Good press riding this guy to the outside. We won't get anything on that on this angle. We got off coverage here. Looks like he's angled toward a quarterback, probably a cover 3 situation. Maybe just man with a man free. Either way, rides with that receiver all the way down the field. Nothing there for the Colorado receiver. I was going to say he's inside there. He's blitzing. Transition. Hunt. When I yell transition, it's because when he gets to here, right there, okay, now you've got to come around this corner really as tight as you possibly can. Like pass rushers would turn this into a win like that, right? But sometimes guys that aren't pass rushers have to run all the way around. That's when they catch the quarterback from behind and strip the ball, right? We've seen that. Good catch. Yes. Really good catch. This was early in the year, right? Go back. 21 seconds left. He's in the slot here. We've got 2 receivers that way. Good inside. Good play by the receiver. I like how the receiver goes all the way outside here and then hops back inside to get the inside release. He's got the leverage, to face the quarterback. If that ball wanted to be thrown up the seam, you could. If you had a rocket arm, if you were looking at this, but this guy's wide open. So 16 seconds left in the second quarter. He's blitzing again. Gets picked up. See him from the right side here, number 2. Oh, they brought the running back from the other side. He would have had a free shot. 9 seconds now. We get everyone off here. Let's just make this a harder field goal if we have to. And nothing for Newton on that one. All right, third quarter. Nothing going on. All right, going on to the next play here. Newton's pressing his guy to the sideline, and the play goes off to the right. And, oh, no. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. At corner, like he's doing his job down here. For eyes on 24, he's doing his job. He's forcing the running back to run in where you've got your help, right? But he's going to get a chance here to make a play right there. Finish. Tackle him. That's horrendous effort. Could Josh Newton have gotten there? Newton's up at the top of the screen up here by the 50. He's kind of looking what's going on. Yeah, he's too far away. He's too far away. I'm not going to be overly critical of him. Some guys probably can run you down. No, I don't think so even. How did I say it? It's too far. He's on the other side. Slant. We got a slant again. Bit of off coverage here. Interesting break by the corner. We might have slowed Newton down. I don't see. But we've got a incomplete pass. What was that? No, they're calling first down. I didn't get an end zone angle there? Come on. Wanted to see what happened. He's coming up to defend the run. Yeah. He gets dragged a little bit there. That should have been a 1-yard gain, not a 4-yard gain. It's going to come from the right side. And we're not going to get in the end zone angle again. Oh, we're getting cheated. That's all right. We'll speed up the video a little bit. Oh, there is a press right there. Top of the screen. We're starting to get feisty out here. Top of the screen. Watch him press. Right there, getting a hand a little bit late, but drives him and then gets thrown. Like if you'd have hit him on that stop route, I'm not sure Newton recovers on that. Yeah, we're not getting the end zone angles. That's all right. Keep it moving. Oh, we got more press. Oh. Whoa. What? Hey, Newton, you've had quite a few good presses here now. Look at that. Oh, he's got him completely in jail. And then all the way to here, and then watch him transition. And actually, he looked like the receiver running the route here, running the in route. You throw that ball, it's going to land in your pit pocket. That's nice. Again, I think his physicality, his tackling, and his technique so far, especially in press here. You can write that down a few times in his notebook. Man has had some nice jams. Off here. Let's see. Chew up the coverage. There we go. Double move. He's on it. No double move for Newton. Yeah, he doesn't transit. He doesn't bite on it. He just transitions, opens his hips, and runs. That's good coverage. Yeah, stay with it though. Don't give up. Quarterback's not done. Man, he's making a playoff script there. Sanders. Let's watch him here. Break away. Not over yet. That's nice. That's a very nice play. All right, we got to run. Newton, you may want to come up and finish. Come on. I'd like to see a little more competitiveness out of you right there. Again, this receiver goes outside in order just to get him to lengthen himself out horizontally and then beat him inside. And you could throw this. He can't, though. I mean, it's an onslaught back there. Someone's winning every time for TCU's defensive line against this Colorado O-line. And there was a couple games I watched Colorado this year, watching other prospects, and I thought their line was terrible each time. Yeah, that's definitely. Nothing going on there. Okay, is he blitzing? We got the safety over top. They go the other way. Good tackling. Not by Newton. He's just sitting on it. He's very patient. He doesn't think they're going to throw a deep ball on him again. They haven't since the one, right? This receiver is getting upset. Like, that's a frustration jam, right? Like when your arms go on the outside and you're trying to like almost punch him back and then rip him down. Newton, great press. Again. Good job again. We didn't see DJ Turner pressing like this coming out of Michigan. Again, they're going to press him again. Hey, Newton's doing his job. We have 2 minutes left here in this quarter. Slant for the first down, minute 37 left in the third. Press situation again. Let's see. He was all over it still. Good throw down the sideline. They're attacking 20. Is it not 24 though? 7. Did they take 24 out after that long touchdown? Top of the screen. Still, they're attacking the other way. Well, let me go back. 38 seconds left in the third. Press situation again. They're not even running that route. But Newton, come on, like, see, like, that's the thing too. Like, when I talk about physicality, you see the guy let up. And you may be thinking, like, okay, he's lulling me to sleep. I mean, at some point, we need awareness of that the ball is coming right inside of you. Now, it's not his job to save the day there. The defenders on the inside are getting sucked inside and then can't outrun this guy. That's a fast player with the ball in his hands. We've got 2 other defenders, but Newton's just hanging out with the receiver who's clearly showing you he's not even involved in the play. All right, fourth quarter. We're back to the other side of the field. Hey, good job staying with him. You know, that's tough. That's tough to transition through traffic. You're going to watch him here. Man situation. You got 2 crossing routes here. One going this way, one going this way. It's tough. This defender is going to get in your way. You either go around him or try and undercut it if you can squeeze through there. It doesn't look like he can, so he's going to try and go around. All right, and now right here, he's open. The quarterback's throwing. You got that separation because of it. And even the next guy is crossing through, and it's lucky they didn't collide because then you'd have a wide open receiver running it all the way down the field. It's tough. Nothing you can really do there if you're Josh Newton, to be honest with you. Just be a better athlete a little bit because you'll see so now watch this receiver. He's not just going to cross. He's going to take 1 step up and then cross. And what that's going to do is usually makes the corner take 2 steps and then cross. That's why he ends up so far away. So watch that little lean back inside here before, right there. That creates separation. You're not just trying to beat them with speed. If you both run a 4.48, you can't just run on a straight line, right? You're not gonna create any separation. But that one little vertical and then horizontal is what does it, and it did it there on Newton. So that's why I said if he's a better athlete, if he was a DJ Turner level athlete, you might be able to recover fast enough on that and make that a much smaller separation. We got 400 total yards from both teams. TCU approaching 500 total yards. We got a deep one from the seam. This is what I was saying earlier on that outside release to get inside, and that receiver's open there. The safety's gotten the safeties, free safeties in college are useless almost. And that's Hunter too. I mean, like you're just standing there, bro. Nothing for us here. 8.5 minutes left in this game. You got zone coverage. You're going to hit the flats. Nope. Coming back to the third read because Newton does a good job. Because he's looking first, second. Nope. Go to third. Off coverage. What are we going to get here? He's running with him. It's man. And we got a wide open. I want to see how he got it so wide open. Yikes. That guy is completely lost. Newton does his job. Fighting through, staying with his receiver. Is he going to blitz again? Is that, yep. Doesn't get involved in the run game. Off coverage here. Nope. Know what's going on behind you. I thought he was going to keep going. All right. Kind of a press situation. Yep. Well, we got you really to lean outside here. It's a good inside release by the receiver to go outside, bang, cut it in hard. Very 90-degree in cut. A right angle. Nice. I like this from Newton. Watch. Top of the route. What I'm talking about, top of the route is where you get to the break point where he's going to cut. And as this receiver throttles down, facing inwards, a lot of times you think they're coming back this way. So a lot of times corners will open up and try and get back this way. But on a comeback route, you'll throttle down that way and actually come back towards the sideline. And Newton does a really good job right there. Did you see that? Watch how he mirrors and breaks back. Yeah, I mean, that'd be tough. If that ball's coming out the perfect time with perfect ball placement, you can fit it in there. We've seen Burrow do that despite good coverage on his receivers. But that is as good as you can expect. You saw that screen the whole way. Comes in and does his job. See him right there. He's already moving in. And he's got to be the outside contained guy. Allow your inside guys to make the play, which is exactly what happens. So again, this was one of his worst games, but it's not a bad game. The bad game is the Texas game. We're not going to do that right now. This is already going to be a 40-minute episode easily just off this one game. I wanted to spend enough time because I thought there was enough. Good job. I thought there was enough plays here to show you what he can and can't do. So again, we saw this play earlier, right? Where he kind of goes out with this guy and then they hook up the slot receiver who would be wide open right here. So watch Newton right away off the snap. They're bringing this safety, I want to say, over the top. So Newton doesn't have to worry about it, and he can jump down on this slot receiver that's hooking up right there. Look at that transition. Fast. This quarterback's trying to throw the ball right now, and he holds it because of it. And then, bam, nice hit on the receiver. Oh, look how far he's pushed him back to the 50. And then we almost had an interception on the back half as the quarterback's going to his third read there because he couldn't get to the guy. Newton jumped right there. Yeah. Oh. It's a good play. Sometimes it's not all just the targeted plays, right? Sometimes it's plays where he's not targeted. Get on your horse, Newton. I want to see if you can make a play. Get on your horse, Newton. See, all right. So now we've got a couple plays in this game where I'm like, right here. He's relaxed. The ball just got caught. There's only one defender, and I even think this safety's relaxed. Like, TCU, what are you doing? Isn't this a close game? Get on your horse. Get on your horse. Guys, run. Cut it off. Newton, play the game. Finish. I mean, I don't, I hate questioning effort, especially for a guy that, like, I've heard him speak. I heard the speeches. It seemed like they followed him. But I mean, he and the safety. I would not be happy. 45-42 now. They're down by 3. Oof. See, there's some effort from that safety. Come finish. Bam. Yeah. Only got a few plays left here. And Colorado cannot run the ball on TCU. 3rd down now. 3rd and 3. If you don't have effort here, you'll never get it. He's playing his position, though. He's running. The receiver ran him out of there. 1st down, Colorado. Newton's way down there, covering his receiver. That's it for that game. Josh Newton will be 24 years old shortly into his rookie season. He played pretty much 5 years at TCU, was a leader for that team, and has had some good production. I was looking up the PFF numbers because I said, hey, he looked good against the run here, or at least as a tackler, while having good coverage numbers. And that was correct. Based on his 5 years of starting, because he started off with Louisiana-Monroe the first 3 years, last 2 years at TCU transferring. But throughout his career, he's been in the high 60s run defender, which is pretty good. You'll take that every time. Tackling this past year, almost a 60, and then a 73 in 2022, which is probably why his grades were so much higher in 2022, his first year at TCU. But his coverage grade, 77, 84, 79 the last 3 years. That may not mean much to you. Over the course of his career, he's been targeted 268 times, giving up 123 catches. That's a 45.6% completion percentage. That's pretty solid. I mean, you're giving up 45% completions is pretty good. A 15.3 yards per catch. He's allowed 18 touchdowns. He has recorded 7 interceptions with 29 pass breakups. That's a lot of good ball production. Again, it's 5 years, so about 6 pass breakups per year, about an interception and some change per year. The last 2 years with TCU, he has 4 picks. So 2 picks per year. NFL passer rating of an 81.2. The one thing for concern, though, is the 20 penalties, which, again, only equates to 4 per year. But overall, solid production numbers for him. It's just the age that knocked his production numbers in our profile and in our formula, because there's been data researches on this, and this is something I talked about when they were looking for corners a couple of years ago. The prime ages for corners is actually 23, 24, 25, and you get some in the 26-year-old range. So if you're a 24-year-old rookie that isn't expected to start, and maybe he does play, maybe there's injuries, things happen, but we've already missed the 23-year-old start of your peak, and it may have been in college, which isn't great to, never great to see a guy peak in college, right? But there's a chance for year 24, the year 25 season for him. We'll see. I think 5th round, what is reasonable expectations for a 5th round pick? That he makes it as the 4th, 5th, 6th corner, if they keep that many, plays special teams, plays 3 to 4 years, and does well when he's called upon. And I think Josh Newton should be able to do that. We're going to watch more games in the future of him because I think he's an intriguing prospect. And I think there is an issue at corner for the Bengals. You got DJ Turner and Cam Taylor-Britt. You got Mike Hilton. Moving Dax Hill to that spot. DJ Ivey with the late season injury. You probably need a guy that can come in and play. Is it going to end up being Dax as the 4th guy? Is it going to be DJ Turner as the 4th guy? Is Dax beating out DJ Turner? It'll be an interesting battle. I think we'll talk about corner throughout the season. This has been Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. Until next time, Uday.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realized self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knock. King.